because there's been so many headlines over exactly all of these tariffs, and there's these counter tariffs from these other countries as well. So let's kind of start off with just like a preview over exactly what's going on here with the tariff tracker, talking about, okay, on exactly what day, what happened. And as we try to load this up here, you can see the first round of tariffs was on February, that 25% on Canada and Mexico and the 10% on China. Well, just in the 11th hour, that got canceled. And then you fast forward to the first week of March, and then we had the 25% coming back for Canada and Mexico. And then on the 5th, we got an exemption for the automakers. And on the 6th, there was an exemption that was then passed on to anything that's compliant with the USMCA, which the Trump administration had negotiated in their first term, giving a 1-month extension. Of course, we got the steel and aluminum tariffs on the 12th, and then we had the auto tariffs that were just announced last week, which you were just talking about. So all of these things are kind of coming together ahead of that Liberation Day, where you have the Trump administration promising these reciprocal tariffs on basically every country around the world, on every single type of industry. Whatever another nation charges on the United States will charge back onto the same types of exports from those countries. That could set up Wall Street for another very rocky week this week.
Goldman Sachs, Brian, is now more worried about the future and worries about a recession than they were even just a week ago. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, they are raising the recession odds in the United States to 35%. This is after they had already ratcheted up a few weeks ago from their previous projections. This is a major Wall Street bank that is worried about the totality of all of these tariff headlines. You have to remember that the nation also has a 20% tariff on China. These are the two nations, the two world's largest economies that are now dueling with each other. And you have the Trump administration on the campaign trail who had promised ratcheting those up to as much as 60%. As those make prices higher for American consumers, could that tilt us into an economic downturn? That's very much a question. I think that underscores why you have that Wall Street reaction. Although I want to point out, Katie, that is a very real concern from Main Street as well.